everybody, and welcome to the 26th episode of the Fandom Flux podcast. As always, I'm your host, KCW, and with me we have Slicinus.
Hello.
Zero.
Here I am, once again.
I thought you were going somewhere with that.
I'm not going to finish it. No, you don't get to hear it.
Evidently not. And Kenchi.
Hello, I'm Kenchi618, and one time I waited backstage at the Point Theatre in Dublin, Ireland for 3 weeks just to give Michael Flatley the surprise beating of his lifetime.
Why?
Is that real?
Because he's the Lord of the Dance. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to dance with broken legs. I mean,
Yeah.
Did you beat him and become the Lord of the Dance? You just go up and say there can only be one and then beat him down?
Pretty much. That was how that entire thing, those entire bases would be going.
That's probably your weirdest introduction thus far.
Maybe.
So, what have we been doing this week? Okay. We'll start with Zero, because apparently Zero never gets picked first.
Yay! Okay, so, I kind of want to say this, but, like, every week I meet for, like, D&D and stuff, right? Well, last time we met for D&D, my character kind of got his revenge on the person who kind of destroyed his life before, and he was going through this. He got captured, and then he had to go and beat this guy with his brother who was a commander of the army and whatever. And so he was going to get his stuff back, and I met up with all my other PCs and whatever, right? So all our characters go, and this guy had like all our money and everything, this general of this army. And this guy's like really high ranking, and he's got like 20 paladins around him and everything. And so we go up to him, and then he says, "You can't. I feel like your stuff would be better used for the sake of the Zakarati army." And then my friend Tanith, she rolls her dice, and she's like, "I'm going to punch him." She rolls a 19, and then they're like, "Oh, that's a critical with your Falcon Yan, your Falcon, or whatever you want to call it." It's like, "Oh, cool, I'm going to stab him now." And then she rolls that, and she stabs him, but he's got a good amount of health, so he's not dead. And then they're like, "Hey, you should roll your dice too." They say, and I'm like, "Okay." So I roll my dice, and I get a 20.
nice.
And I'm the DPS.
Ah. So
So
he's like powder then? Or paste?
I deal 38 damage with one attack. Guy had 40 health. And so we basically just killed the general, who was extremely plot relevant apparently.
Whoops.
So basically, how our DM narrated it was, or how we decided for it to go was, my friend kind of made a big horizontal cut right above his legs, and then I used my hammer and I just slammed his fat off his body and into the ocean.
What?
He's a really fat guy. His whole upper body just got knocked off his body and into the ocean. And our DM was basically like, "You killed him. Oh my god! You killed General Serratus! You killed him!" He just started freaking out. He's like, here's the blood, choo choo! Oh, it's off the rails!
That
And just
sounded
for the-
vaguely like Anakin Skywalker. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
You killed him. You killed him.
For the next 10 minutes, he was like, "You killed General Serratus! You killed him!" And our DM just couldn't calm down, because we just kind of destroyed a lot of his plot. Like, a lot of it. Because
That's fun to do.
He's like, "I thought you guys had more self-preservation than to kill the general of the army right in front of his army."
Nope, not really.
Well, they're more likely to back down now. Intimidation and all that.
At this point, though, an invading army is right, like, down the street coming to get us. We're on a pier. And then another ship is coming with allies, or sort of allies, of the other army, and we're kind of between three armies right now.
Well, that's That's good. That's like a Bolivian army
Yeah.
hunting. That's the right term for it, right?
Yeah.
So now you just
So-
need to dig a hole and hide in there until everything's over.
We need to.
Just
Oh,
Minecraft
man.
it.
We just. He was really fat and annoying, this general. Like, it felt satisfying to double crit him. Frickin', now, our DM's, his reaction was so worth it, just freaking out over that, because he kind of has a habit of putting things on the rails, and then we destroy them, and this was probably the greatest example of us destroying the rails.
Okay. Maybe tell him not to plan ahead so much next time, then. It's generally a bad plan with random chance being involved in a story.
He does, it's that he expects a few different outcomes, and he plans with those, but then we come up with something extremely random. Like, you know, if there's somebody cool and he thinks it, and they're a villain, and he thinks that we're going to kill them, we typically befriend them if they're a cool guy,
Right.
and then recruit them into our party.
Hmm.
Or if we encounter an NPC that we know or that we met in the past before, we'll typically somehow recruit them into our party. So
Even if they're actually back to stab you in the back or betray you in some way.
one guy who joined our party, like I spared his life in the very, very beginning of the campaign after killing all his friends. And he showed up later, and his purpose was supposed to be just to be like, oh no, they're cool. We can let them pass. But I'm like, we're like, we need a guide, and I'm like, I want that guy to come with us. And he's just like, oh crap. Just terrified of my character, because I tend to get criticals at the most awesome moments, like when I turn somebody into paste or things like that.
Hmm. Okay.
But
Tell your
that
DM
was-
that no plan survives contact with the enemy, and to a DM, the players are the enemy.
Basically.
Never question that.
Yeah, so other than that, this week I finished up a chapter of M1N470, or Code Minato, as Casey likes to call it.
You haven't posted it yet.
I haven't posted it yet because it's being baited right now.
Oh yeah.
I finished it up on Thursday. My beta said he'd have free time Saturday afternoon, so it probably should be up like Sunday, possibly. So by the time that you're listening to this podcast, it would already be up. And it was a very
Hopefully.
interesting chapter to write, because I kind of tore the focus away from Minato so much to focus on Labris, Aegis, and Chidori. Which, it's kind of cool to focus on them, you know? People who aren't the main character every now and then.
I was going to say the
Uh,
chicks, but yeah, that works
Yeah,
too.
the chicks. Well, Mitsuru is probably going to be next chapter. I'm going to get through all the chicks pretty early on, because I kind of want to use the next couple chapters to cover characters.
Get the interesting
but-
ones out of the way first.
Get the ones that have been most talked about out of the way first, and I just want to do Chidori, because Chidori's fun to do.
Okay.
Other than that, I can't think of anything for this week, because my life has been pretty boring.
Oh. Alright, Slicer?
I've done one thing, and it's been the same thing I've done for the past like 2 weeks. Is just play Dark Souls and wait for Dark Souls 2. So yeah, that's it. That is literally my entire week.
Well, that was quick. Ken?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. My college friends met my high school friends this week, which was
Oh.
interesting.
It's a weird situation.
Yeah, but they bonded very quickly. Do you want to know why?
They
Because
insulted
they were
you?
able. No, they were able to share every skeleton in my closet that either of them had on me.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
stuff I never told my high school friends that my college friends knew, and stuff I never told my college friends that my high school friends knew. Everybody knows everything now.
It's a great sharing session. Bonding, even.
Yeah.
I just find it impressive that you're still in contact with your high school friends and your college friends.
Well, there's a good, reasonable explanation for that. Basically, like, I lived on campus for 2 years, but then I had to commute back and forth from home for the last 2, so I pretty much stayed in contact with everybody. It was an inconvenient distance to have people come down here just to hang out with my other friends. So I just like stayed in contact, and eventually, yay, adulthood, so we can all meet up and stuff now.
That's not something you hear very often.
Yeah, I'm a man of the people, and I love the people that love me. And if you hate me, I will destroy you. I love and hate fiercely.
I was gonna say the loving adulthood part, but okay, that works too.
Oh,
We
I
love
don't
you,
love
Kenchi.
adulthood. I don't love adulthood at all. Adulthood sucks. I wish I was 5 again. That shit was awesome.
When I was a kid, I was like, I don't want to grow up. I'm just gonna stay a kid forever and have everybody pay for things for me. I don't like taxes.
No, I don't. Like, can you imagine the shit I'd get done if I had my brain in my 5-year-old body?
It
I
would be
getting
like
shit done.
People would probably be pretty worried if you were writing stories like that, like at 5.
they'd be impressed. They'd be impressed.
They'd be wondering where you got so much knowledge of sexuality from.
Pretty much.
That would be my concern, to be honest with you.
Boy gets around the playground.
I'd
Oh,
probably
gross.
Ugh. No.
That would be the
You're
explanation.
horrible.
That'd be the explanation.
That's
probably
so
just
wrong.
It wouldn't
If that
necessarily
ended
be
up-
true, but it would be
In
the
that scenario,
explanation.
if that actually happened, they were like, why do you know so much about this? I'd probably throw my dad under the bus and be like, well, sometimes there's these tapes around, these magazines. Yeah, but other than that, I haven't really been doing anything. Just, being Kenchi.
And that's enough.
Yeah, that's more than enough. If I told you the things I got up to on a day-to-day basis, your blood would boil and your head would explode.
There's a good chance of that.
I wonder where he keeps getting these lines from. Do you practice these by chance?
Some of them.
Just some of them.
Some of them I actually use in actual conversation. If it's particularly good, I'll save it.
Hmm.
Okay.
I imagine there's
618,
probably a site
everybody.
he goes to for at least some of them. Not sure
Maybe.
what, but
I imagine a lot of them come from action movies and we just don't notice.
yeah, that sounds accurate.
If
And
you'd
occasionally
like, I'd
Red
give you
vs.
a-
Blue because he
I could
quotes him
tell-
a lot in his stories.
I could tell you what comes from stuff and what doesn't, if you were actually interested. But it would take too long, so we should just move along.
Yeah, we should.
Mm.
So what I did this week, I've mentioned before that I watch Pokemon Rob's Twitch streams of playing the hardcore versions of Pokemon games. I finally got a Pokemon named after me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, what he does is, if you're watching the Twitch stream live, and you're following his channel, then he does this, like, dice rolling function on the website, where he will just pick someone at random who's watching in the chat, and then name a Pokemon after them when he catches one.
Cool.
So what's named after you?
Yeah, what are you?
With a 1 in 2,100 chance, because that's how many people were in the chat at the time,
Uh-huh.
I got a Altaria named after me,
Whoa.
which
That's
is
the
a
bird
dragon
with the-
flying type that looks like a bird in a cloud or something.
Hmm.
And it's blue.
That's
Oh, that
damn
thing.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Unfortunately, he's about to fight the dragon gym, so I got stuffed in the box immediately. So,
Casey in a box.
So I'm probably going to be in the box for the next 3 weeks. But hey, if you want to see my continuing adventures in the fucking Pokemon Rob's Pokemon box, then feel free to watch Pokemon Rob's Twitch stream on
Casey in
Saturday
a
nights.
box. Gonna be Casey in a box.
Casey in a box.
Casey
Uh,
in a
yeah.
box.
Yeah, so that happened. I was very excited. Threw my hands up in the air with joy, and it's finally happened. And then I'm in the box. And, oh.
Hmm.
I just got an idea for our icon for Fandom Flux. We just put Casey in a box. I have like his game picture that I made for the game in a box
Right.
with this sprite or something.
Oh. That's kind of mean. Yeah, so that was pretty much my highlight of the week, you know, because, yeah, my week sucks every week.
Right.
But I also played South Park: The Stick of Truth. That's not a great game,
What?
and I mean that very specifically. It's not a great game.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, the comedy of it is fine. It's kind of like a couple mediocre seasons of South Park from the main plot perspective. From the side stuff, it is heavily referential humor. Like, literally everything you do as a side quest is a reference to something that happened in the show at some point. And it's not that funny, even if you did watch the show.
Yeah.
Like helping Al Gore find Man Bear Pig, and finding Mr. Hankey's kids in the sewer, and all that.
There's a lot of. It sounds like
stuff.
there's a lot of finding.
Yeah.
There is, yeah, because it gives you time to show off, or rather use the various abilities you get, like shrinking down and teleporting and stuff like that.
And there's find all the Shin Pokemon, and it's cool. It's like, hey, remember that episode? And, yeah, that was a good episode. And then you do it again, and again, and again, and again,
And again.
and
And
again,
again.
and again.
And again.
Yeah, the joke wears out pretty quickly. Yeah. But, you know, if you just play through the main plot, then it's kind of funny. Sometimes. So, woo. Not entirely sure it was worth me paying full retail price, but whatever. Oh well, maybe I'm just spoiled from Steam sales.
Yeah, I don't think that game would be worth full price. I think that's like a, I don't know, $40 game at most.
Yeah, I'm sure that fits somewhere in price conversion. 30 quid probably, somewhere around there.
Yeah, sure, that sounds about right.
It's 40 at full retail.
Oh, okay, yeah, you'd be like 25 then.
Anyway, that's pretty much everything. Because, oh yeah, and I reread Kenchi's One Piece fic because I felt like it.
Plug.
Yeah, like I said, you reference Red vs. Blue a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I watch things.
Yeah.
They stick in my head.
Well, stick in your head, yes, but you quoted the entire speech from the Season 8 finale, word for word. That's not a short speech.
I don't remember this.
It's the, a great love is a lot like a great memory. And you can
Oh yeah.
chase after it, and the more you try and chase after it, the more it's going to run away.
That's a fucking good line.
But if you if you're patient and you wait for it, then maybe it'll come to you. Yeah, that is a good line, but you quoted the whole damn thing.
It's not even. That's long to you. That's not long at all.
That wasn't all of it. That was just like, I don't know, half of it or something.
I can probably find where that is. It doesn't matter. What I want to talk about is Casey's hatred of America.
Oh god.
Why do you hate America, Casey?
Your time zones are stupid.
Yeah, they're so stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, for one thing, you have a country that has 4 time zones. Okay, that's fine. different places in the
Technically, we
axis
have more.
of the world and stuff.
We're just
Makes
fat.
sense.
Hawaii.
Well, we have a lot of
Kind of.
country, you know. I mean,
Yeah, you're big and fat and stupid. I mean, I meant just generally as the country, not the people. Okay, that may have come out wrong, but we're
no,
moving on.
go on.
No.
This is
Go
great.
on, please continue.
But what was I saying?
There's something
big
about
fat
fat
stupid.
people.
America because of time. Time
Yeah.
is the point here.
So you have 4 time zones, and you guys are in 3 of them. I just want to point that out. Because Kenchi's on the East Coast. Slice is in Mountain, I think.
Central.
Central, my mistake. And Zero is on the West Coast.
Woo! California, rest in peace.
Fuck you, Zero. So we have Eastern Standard, Central Standard, and Pacific Standard. And I have to coordinate with these when I'm 5 hours in front of one of them.
And like 8 hours in front of mine.
Now, daylight savings time happens, if memory serves, on the last weekend of March in this country. For some random, inexplicable reason, in America it apparently happens on, what is it, the second weekend?
Nobody knows.
I don't know.
Nobody
Second,
knows.
sometime at the beginning of March,
It
rather
just
than the
happens.
end.
Nobody knows when it happens here. It just happens, and we're like, oh, set your clock back tomorrow.
My
There's
computer
such
does
a
it
lot
for me, so I don't even need to do that.
So there's like 3 weeks of difference between when you people
Mouth breathers is the first thing that came to mind.
change your clocks and when we do. In spring. But in autumn, you have it 1 week apart from when the rest of the sane people in the world do it. Why?
I said this in the chat, but let me just say this again. America is the hipster of the world. Screw your mainstream. We do what America does because America.
We gotta lead the way, even with daylight savings.
Is that even leading the way? When did daylight savings time become a thing?
I don't know.
When we realized- when we realized that the world doesn't work perfectly with our
All I
time
knew is
system.
all I know is that some dude invented it because he wanted to catch more bugs in the summer. That's all I remember about daylight savings time.
1895, and it was first implemented by Germany and Austria-Hungary.
Screw you, Germany and Austria-Hungary. Actually, no, I like you. Never mind. I like daylight savings time.
I don't care.
It
All I
makes
know is that
things interesting.
all I know is that it made me tired as fuck last week because I had to get up and go to work the next day, and my sleep schedule was all fucked up because I lost an hour.
The fuck? There's like a big chunk of your country that doesn't use daylight savings.
Yeah, well, they're the
Probably-
hipsters.
yeah,
of,
it's like-
they're
is
the
it like
hipsters
Hawaii?
of the hipster country.
I don't think Hawaii uses it.
No, it's on the mainland.
Oh, where does it use it in the mainland?
America,
just
America
on,
it,
on the west. I'll link it in the chat. It's like on the west coast, like just around Mexico.
America
Oh, it's
has
like Arizona, because Arizona doesn't even recognize Martin Luther King Day until like 1980 or something, or 1990.
Arizona's just slow.
I don't know where your states are. I don't care.
We're not
Canada
really
as
as
well.
unified as we like to say we are.
Not at all.
We
United is in your fucking name. You better be
not.
fucking
This is a little
unified.
false advertisement never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
we say we're a melting pot, but we're like one of those veggie trays, and everything's like kind of divided and has walls between them. Kind of
It
like
tastes
that.
like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
America, we love you, America.
Doesn't smell particularly pleasant either. No
Wow,
one really
okay,
wants
this is getting-
no one really wants anything to do with you,
This
but
is
they
getting-
tolerate you because you're supposedly healthy.
This is getting
I
personal.
can say plenty of things about England. Just saying.
You came up with the
England used to be
metaphor, Zero.
America England used to be America before America was cool.
Half your history is our history because
I know.
you didn't exist before 300 years ago.
Exactly.
Don't tell
You created a
Americans that.
monster.
We don't
You
like
should
to
blame
accept
yourse-
that fact.
You should blame yourself. If you have to want to blame anyone for America, blame yourself.
I think before Casey makes any more assumptions about America, he should come live here for a couple months. Then he'll understand.
What, so we can indoctrinate him, or do we not mention that?
No, no. He just needs to understand what it's like to be an American.
No,
What is it like to
I
be
don't want to live in your
American?
country. Your
I
country's
don't-
going to shit.
I don't understand what it's like to be an American. All I know is that I'm paying a lot of money for shit.
Yeah,
Basically
my
I'm paying
point.
it.
bills every other day.
Don't you guys
Basically
also over there in England? Don't you guys pay a hellish amount of money for gas, though? I mean, like, it's
That would
bad
be a
here,
problem
but
for me
not.
if I drove, which I don't. Neener, neener. Yeah. So yeah, that was my rant that Kenchi insisted that I do, because apparently me being jingoistic is funny, I guess.
Like just yesterday when I told you, yeah, we should probably do this an hour earlier because of daylight savings. You sound just from the message you sent back, it sounded like if you'd said it, you'd have sounded pissed.
I might have
yeah,
been.
The reply went out to everybody, too.
Mm.
Let's see. What did he say?
I had to make you talk about it because just from
Mm.
the what you sent me back when I told you, yeah, it's daylight savings time here, you sounded so disgusted. You seem to be so disgusted by the fact that it was daylight savings time.
I don't
here
care
and
that you do
nowhere
it.
else.
I don't care that you do it. We do DST too. I don't see why you have to do it 3 weeks before everybody else. What possible reason could there be? And then that was in reply to, I think, Kenji saying, your dislike of American practices shine through. I can actually hear you saying this out loud, and the tone of voice you're using sounds somewhat disgusted. It's amazing.
You can hear the loathing. It's great.
Yeah, you could.
You guys are really too fascinated by me being annoyed.
It's your gimmick. You're angry British dude. It's your gimmick.
Yeah, fine. I'm angry British dude with a sore throat. That's why I'm clearing my throat every 30 seconds, because
Do you need a
I've got a
cough
fucking
drop?
chainsaw in it or something.
I've had a cough for the past month, so yeah, that's why I'm doing that.
I'm
Sucks.
kind of healthy.
Fuck you,
I got
in your
rid
healthy
of-
body.
I got rid of my sickness when I was a kid. I used to be super sick, and then around the time
Yeah.
I was 14, I was like, "Fuck this," and apparently got super healthy. Apparently, that was all
Yeah.
I needed.
Yeah. So I never get sick anymore, because I was like, I don't want to be sick anymore.
I remember exactly what it was. I used to have asthma and all kinds of shit, and I was playing football like for my high school when I was like a freshman, and they were making us do like 40-yard sprints, and I was the only one that was like, the only one that was super out of breath after like a few of them, and I was wheezing, and I was like, "Fuck this." And then by the end of the season, that stopped, and then I got better and healthier and stronger and faster.
That's not how asthma works. I had
Apparently
asthma.
it is. Apparently it is.
This is Kenchi's origin story. We'll
I
now be
used to
making
have to
Kenchi
use-
the movie, the story of the modern day superhero.
Yeah, because I used to have to use some kind of breathing machine and some shit. It's still in my closet, and
Yeah,
I
we got one of
didn't
those.
have to, just out of the blue. I used to have to take allergy shots every 2 weeks. I used to have to do all that shit, but I
Mm.
just stopped.
I'm actually right there with you. I kind of had asthma when I was a kid as well, and it just kind of went away at some point.
I
Doesn't
had
make any sense.
I had allergies, and then the doctor removed my tonsils and adenoids, and it unnecessarily because he was stupid, and I lived in Arkansas.
Okay.
So it actually made my
what?
allergies worse.
Hmm.
Yeah. Don't go to a doctor in Arkansas ever. They will remove parts of you unnecessarily.
I'm not
If
going
your
to
leg is
Arkansas
broken-
ever for anything.
If your leg is broken, they'll say you're fine. Just take some aspirin.
Rub some
I know a
Robitussin
guy-
on it.
I know a guy who actually broke his leg, and then they just said, you just take some aspirin. Then they went over to an actual city, and we went to the doctor, and he said, your leg's broken, what are you doing? Get in here and get a frickin' cast on it, idiot.
Fair enough. So we're gonna move on to the next topic because Kenchi insisted on the rant, so that had to happen apparently.
Yep.
So next topic is Bleach, because Bleach has become a thing that we talk about. So I got a question. Does anyone remember when the powers in Bleach were things like shoots fireballs or poison cloud or an ice dragon and stuff?
Or sword get long.
Yeah. Remember
Sword,
that?
get longer. Yeah.
Those were the nice simple days
Mm.
Yeah.
where the filler villains didn't have to have an entire chapter dedicated to figuring out what the fuck their power was supposed to do.
And why they had it in the first place.
I don't even care why they have it. They haven't even gotten that far yet. I still don't have a
Yeah.
fucking clue what this guy's power is supposed to be.
The new one is like the new one just seems fucked up. Like I haven't even explained it yet. It just seems like it's gonna make me mad when they explain it.
Okay, the new guy's powers, or girl, again, it's hard to tell.
Androgynous.
Yeah, most of them have been. I'm pretty sure the last guy was a dude. The guy with the glasses that was a Silence ripoff. Yeah, this new one apparently makes their imagination be reality.
That is probably the most broken power I've ever thought of. Or anybody's ever
yeah.
thought of.
Yeah, it's kind of like Orihime's power on steroids.
Basically,
What's the
you're
point in
like,
having
I
Orihime,
imagine
then?
that I imagine a weapon that can kill anything in one hit. Okay, I have it now. I imagine that you're dead. Okay, you're dead.
Imagine, yeah. He always like so apparently if he makes you think of something, then it happens. Like or it becomes what it is. Like imagine he said to like, hey, imagine if your bones were made of cookies or some shit, and she like try to stand up on her hand, and the shit just breaks.
That's
Imagine-
literally what
imagine-
happens in the chapter, and it's like, it's an entire power based around the "don't think about white elephants" thing.
What?
Imagine
Why
that
would
you
you-
have no arms or legs. Oh, where'd my arms and legs go?
Yeah, it's the thing where you say "don't think about white elephants," and the first thing you're gonna think about is a fucking white elephant because.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Yeah.
That's really stupid.
Yeah.
And I feel like that idea should never have gone past the editor. If there even is one. It's just Kubo.
You're making the assumption
Okay.
that they actually think these things through.
That's the thing. Here's what I think is happening.
He wants to finish it.
Zero pointed out recently that Bleach was on the bottom of the rankings for Shonen Jump.
They're
Now, if
getting
there is anything
pretty
I
low.
learned from reading Bakuman, it's that if a story is on the bottom of the rankings for too long, then they just dump the story for something new. So what I'm thinking is happening is, Shonen Jump are putting pressure on Kubo to end the story quicker. Because this thing is not working, and it needs
It's
to be
not.
gone so they can make room for something that'll actually get readers reading it. So
Actually,
he's
let's
just
see.
rushing through things to get to the big reveal so can maybe jump up the rankings for a little bit so he can stave off the higher ups.
This most recent volume of Shonen Jump, Bleach was 11 out of 12.
There you go. See? It's like right at the bottom. So
The one before it was 9 out of 12, and then before that was 12 out of 14. Lots of things are getting axed.
hmm.
So
Yeah. So it is probably not coincidence that this chapter that was completely baffling and made absolutely no sense also included the most underwhelming character reveal, dramatic reveal ever. Like,
that newest chapter actually sucked incredibly.
yeah, guy whose character has literally been introduced this chapter and powers barely make sense, and Zaraki Kenpachi shows up immediately to defeat this character that we're barely even understanding the gist of. Because it's Kenpachi, and that's a reveal, and it's gonna get ratings up a little bit, probably.
On a side note, number 1 for the last thing of Shonen Jump was Naruto, and number 2 was Shokugeki no Soma, the cooking manga with all the foodgasms.
What?
What?
Naruto is number how? How?
I don't know either.
I don't think you're focusing on the right thing here. The what? The what-gasms? What?
Foodgasms. That's what fans call them. It's really. I recommend you read it because it is a very good manga. It's always been like pretty top ranked with Shokugeki no Soma. It's cooking manga, and they make food so good that it gets weird with the way they interpret people's reactions to food.
So I've heard.
I think I recommend it. Just gonna say that now. Foodgasms is what everybody calls it.
I'm probably gonna like it because I like weird shit. I like defrag, so might like it. Casey won't like it.
It's actually, the food looks really good. Oh my gosh. Don't read that when you're hungry. Seriously.
Well, I also watch Epic Mealtime when I'm hungry, so.
Okay, then this will make you hungrier. So yeah. Naruto's number 1, apparently.
Is Naruto still dead? Because that might explain it.
I don't know.
Just a thought.
It's number 1 because Guy just opened the last gate.
It's number
What?
1.
Oh, I liked
It's
him.
number 1 because One Piece wasn't in the volume.
Yeah, that too.
Ah, okay.
But it,
Yeah,
you
that'd
gotta
explain
jump.
it.
You gotta jump because Guy opened the last gate, and everyone wants to see what it does before it kills him.
Oh my god.
I assume he's
You get-
basically a Super Saiyan, and then he dies. That's it.
It would be so cool if he actually turned Super Saiyan. Gets the golden hair and everything.
And then he just
A golden
like,
bowl cut.
He hits you, you die, and then he suddenly dies too. And you're like, okay. I can live with that. Naruto's actually dead though. Like, I still can't believe that.
Well, he's not like dead, but he's more like super dying, as close to dead as you can get without being dead.
Oh, they've pulled that card before. Fucking
Yeah.
Valley of the End.
Well, actually, he's like Kurama got pulled out of him. That's why he's dead.
Yeah.
Or,
His mom survived. I don't know why he's dying.
well, she was only supposed to survive for like a few minutes. She was gonna die anyway.
Right. They could have made that more clear.
Yeah, they actually kind of go against that in the game.
What?
In the ultimate the third console game that they released that does the whole Ninja War arc. They do the flashback thing where he meets his mom, and it's like Minato tries to seal the fox into Naruto and doing it himself so that Kushina can survive, I think. That's
Uh-huh.
the general gist I got from it, and yeah, that's kind of contradicting it a little bit. I don't know whether that's the way it was supposed to be, or whether they got it wrong in translation, or they just got it wrong for the game, but, you know.
That might have been before they had that planned out or something. I don't know. Is that the most recent one, or is that like...
Yeah, that's the most recent one.
Yeah, that was the most recent one.
Huh.
By the way, god damn it. I almost did that without thinking about it. Laura Bailey did an amazing job playing Kushina.
She actually... You're not just making that up?
No, I'm not. She really did a good job.
Huh.
Like the whole mum realizing she's got like a few minutes to tell her son everything she wants him to hear before she dies. It was actually a little bit moving, and I do cry when I play that sequence every time. So
But no, I wasn't sure if she actually voiced that character, or you were
yeah,
just
she did.
projecting your
Just in the game, I
fantasies.
think. I think in the anime it's someone else.
Yeah, because I wouldn't put it past you to, just imagine.
No, it's really her. She plays Kushina and she plays Kurotsuchi.
Oh, the rock
Yes.
girl, yeah. I always get that mixed up because it's like the guy from Bleach, the clown guy.
Yeah. Also, it is entirely not creepy that I know every role that she's ever been in. Don't judge me.
No, not at all, definitely.
Yeah, so,
I'm falling asleep. Let's move on.
fuck you too, Zero. Anyway, so Bleach, yeah. If you're trying to, make your story shittier to avoid it getting scrapped for being shitty, then that's kind of poor planning. I just want to throw that out there. So,
I
Bleach.
don't understand what's going on. I've been doing everything I've always been doing. Why isn't it getting better?
So, next topic. First of the writing topics, we have, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those this week, because it took me 10 seconds to count to 4.
Yay. Math. We can do it.
I'm a
I work in
moron.
TV, so I don't have to do math anymore. Fuck that.
So, yeah, next topic is how to guide the plot. Now, there's like probably three, fuck, 3 dozen different tropes for like idiot ball and I don't know, Deus Ex Machina and all that stuff of saying, hey, this is a thing that's gonna stop things from happening, or ooh, this hero's gonna make a really stupid decision for no adequately explained reason because the plot demands it. That's really stupid. Don't do that. I mean,
Mm.
canon authors will do that, so it's not a stupid mistake to make, but seriously, don't do that. It's not doing you any favors. So, what I wanted to talk about is more subtle ways that you can use to maybe keep the plot on the track that you want it to stay on without it seeming too forced. So, for example, the example that always comes to mind for me most often is just try to manipulate all the small things that can't adequately be controlled by outside forces, like people doing things, you know. So, say for example, a recent example that I'm writing-ish at the moment, someone gets injured. You need to get them injured, and so injured that they stay out of action for the rest of the series, but you don't want them to die, and you need them to stay out of the way. So, you could have them injured in such a specific way that they get kept out of the way and are permanently crippled, but they still live.
Right.
That means no characters have had to be really stupid. No one has had to come in and save the day at the last minute just because. It's just kind of kept things as they need to be without forcing anything. It's just crappy circumstance more than anything else that's guiding it. Is my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Anyone else want to jump in?
Well, there's always good old-fashioned foreshadowing.
There is. I mean, like I said, Deus Ex Machina is a bad thing because it's just someone or something coming in to save the day at the last minute for no adequately explained reason.
No pretense for it happening,
Hmm.
and that's really easily avoidable. You
Yeah,
can build
just
it up. You can
Explain
build
it in the
up over
first
time.
place, yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it without just sort of resigning yourself to, hey, this character's going to do this because I need them to. That's... Personally, I hate doing that kind of thing because I like to let the characters drive the plot. That's just the way I write. So, the idea of saying, okay, this character needs to be really stupid and make a really stupid decision right now is something of a minor pet peeve of mine.
It's not fun to do if you care about your characters too.
Hmm. Nobody's in the mood to talk this week, are they?
Sorry, I had boss fight.
Oh, which boss?
The Gold Knight guy. He kills
Trek?
the firekeeper in the main place.
Latrec?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I just kind of killed him first thing.
I usually do, but I'm in New Game Plus. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Hey
Things.
Ken, you ever get the feeling that people aren't paying
I-
attention to you?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes
yeah.
I just tune them out.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of sucks when you here specifically to have a conversation that's recorded for people to listen to in the future. And people are just kind of checking out of the conversation for some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of a downer.
Yeah, it's a little bit rude, don't you think?
I didn't hear the beginning of the conversation, so I'm lost.
I was talking for like 5 minutes.
Well, it was background noise.
Oh, you guys suck.
Sorry, Casey. We'll be good.
Guide
Right.
plot. talked about
How do you guide the
foreshadowing.
podcast? That's the topic that we need, because
It's impossible to guide a podcast.
Okay.
It's
Okay, so we were talking about guiding plot.
yes, we were.
I kind of want to. We already talked about foreshadowing a little bit, right?
yeah. You
Very
can
slightly,
add
yes.
whatever you want.
Well, when I a lot of the time when I have a good plan for how my story is going to happen at certain junctions, certain events, but there's a lot of in between space that I don't really have set up most of the time until I actually get to it. But so I start to think of that as soon as I get past a major event. I'm like, what am I gonna do with all this space right here? So as I'm writing, I start placing little hints, like, oh, this could be used later as a sort of thing to help guide the plot, and this could be used there. I just drop little bits of foreshadowing whenever I can, because that can help me bring in things later when I really need it.
I do that too.
It's a good way
It's
to handle
very-
it. I mean,
It's
just
very
having
effective.
the big plot flags, as it were. So you've got a little roadmap of things that you're gonna do in the story. So you
Yeah.
have big major events that are picked out, and then maybe you scatter some minor things to build to the big climax at the end. But then you have all these little things that lead to the major events as well.
Writing those
Yeah.
down is really helpful, I've noticed.
Mm.
You don't always remember them if you take a break from something. Whoops.
Spoken from
Mhm.
experience, I imagine.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've had a few things planned out, just little smaller fix, and I forgot most of them.
Happens. Thank you for the contribution, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's Sliceness.
Alright.
He's a chatty bastard, isn't he? Fuck.
Yeah. Just talking constantly.
Yeah.
We need a fucking fifth man on this, Christ. Oh, it's bad.
All right.
Shout out that you missed someone right now.
Do we really need to talk more about guiding plot, or does anyone else have anything to say?
Apparently not. Fucking hell. Fandom Flux is a shambles. That's the title of this episode.
No, there's a better title out there.
We'll find it.
I'll believe it when we find one.
Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace
There'll
when
be
you're done.
peace when
I will
you
cut you.
are done.
Lay your weary head to
Don't you cry no more.
no more. Dun, dun,
So we're gonna get
okay,
sued.
back on
so
topic.
You could stop.
Oh, if they sue us, we have aliases. Except, yeah, we all have aliases, so we're good. They'll never know.
Right.
All right. Next topic, please.
Sure. Yeah. Just let me fight down the urge to sing more classic rock songs. There was actually an urge, and it was very strong. So, yeah. Okay. Next topic is cliches. Now, again, this is another one I came up with because I took a suggestion from Kenchi last week, which was to Google his username and see what came up.
I told you not to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
You said you could Google my name, and you will find people that hate me.
That didn't mean I wanted you to find people that hate me.
I wanted to know what people were saying, because I think you're a good writer, and people that shit on you are fucking retarded. That being said, yeah, I did Google his username, and there was a particular forum thread. I don't even remember what it was like. It was a thread about guilty pleasures in fanfiction. And someone said, Kenchi618, I'm going to paraphrase, because he uses all of the cliches and bad plot ideas that you tend to find in Naruto fanfiction. Yeah. Cliches. There's a reason they're cliches, because they tend to make for good stories, and you've seen them a lot of times, because you see them because you see good stories, and you read them, and you see them over and over again, because they're good, and they work.
Kenchi
That's why
also
they're
kind of
cliche.
created a lot of those. Or made them popular, I suppose.
Also true, like
Mhm.
Sealed Kunai, that was one of the first root fix, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I saw one that had like elements of root, and I was like, huh, why don't people use more of root? Root's interesting. So
So, yeah, cliches kind of... You might even call them necessary most of the time. I mean, how many great grand stories have you seen with the basic hero's journey archetype going on?
I can just name Harry Potter right off the top of my head. That whole thing's just one big hero's journey.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
Star
Rings,
Wars.
Star Wars, anything.
These are billion-dollar franchises that I'm listing off here.
because
And they are the
hero's
most
journey
cliched
works.
pieces of crap ever written. Well, not pieces of crap, they're decent.
They did an
still.
actual like video where they dissected like Star Wars, and most of the shots that are in there are basically similar to lots of other movies that happen. Like the part where he's swinging was similar to like an Indiana Jones scene, like almost the exact same shot, and like all this other stuff. And it was just like an amalgamation of all the movies of that time period.
Yeah, people do things over and over again because they worked the first time.
Yeah.
And if you whether they work again is not down to whether they've been done before, it's whether you can do them well.
Mhm.
And for the
how
most
you
part,
incorporate them.
yeah, for the most part, Kenchi does it pretty damn well. I mean, admittedly, and I'm actually going to point this out, I think Naruto One Piece was one of your first fics,
Yep.
right? One of the very,
Third
very early
thing.
ones that you
Second or
started.
third or fourth.
Yeah. And it does show a little bit, because you kind of let the plot go on rails for quite a while and followed the canon bits quite a bit and just let Naruto just kind of be on the sidelines for most of it and not really change anything. It happens, especially when you're like first starting out. But then you kind of expanded on it and changed things a bit more as time went on, and now things are kind of completely off the rails a little bit, because I have no idea where you're going to go with it from here. Honestly don't know. Looking forward to it, but fucking not a clue.
Sometimes you
I'm
also
looking-
need to follow the rails too. It's
Yeah.
like you're not at the part you want to be at yet, but you need that event to actually happen.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the forums where they talking about Kenchi's stories, and somebody says, "Am I the only one who notices his Naruto's are always the same personality despite different origins? Also, that he always nerfs his characters to fit crossovers. I found it hilariously bad when Naruto went from superhuman to slightly beneath peak human in the MGS verse. I went from being capable of summoning an army of shadow clones to summoning at the most 4. The reason? Just because."
Yeah.
What's that?
First part of that we called out.
Issues.
We called out at the very, very beginning, before we even started this podcast. Well, not before we started this podcast, before we started this particular recording. Naruto being the same character every time. There might be a reason for that. Might be because he's fucking Naruto every time. It's the same character.
I can get where they're coming from, though. I mean, a different upbringing is going to raise a different character, but it's...
To an extent, but for like 90% of Kenchi's fics, they're like always, at the very least, after Naruto's like, what, 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I mean-
only started like one where he wasn't already 12 at least when I started. So
Yeah, I mean, there's Great Clan Days, maybe.
yeah, and
That'd
that's an
count.
entirely different alternate universe altogether. So stuff.
Yeah, and same with History of Strongest Shinobi a little bit. But
Yeah.
that can be hand-waved pretty damn easily.
Yeah. In 2 of my stories, Minato is different from the canon Minato because he actually went insane a little bit. A little bit. Kind of went insane.
One could argue there is no canon Minato.
Yeah, that's the
Really?
thing. He's an open character, so
Mm.
when you have an open character, you got a lot more room to maneuver, I guess, with that.
Yeah, but when you've got a set character, like, for example, Naruto, there is a personality archetype that you kind of have to follow, at least slightly. I mean, you
Yeah.
pointed out, Ken, in your rules of Naruto fanfiction, which is something that someone apparently really liked, by the way, I just wanted to point that out, that Naruto, at his core, will always be a loudmouth, brash, pain in the ass that won't shut up. And the very least you can do is make him entertaining. Now, Naruto in canon annoys the crap out of me because he's stupid, and pretty much everything that comes out of his mouth is stupid, naive bullshit. Naruto, in canon, annoys the crap out of me because he's stupid, and pretty much everything that comes out of his mouth is stupid, naive bullshit. Naruto, in canon, annoys the crap out of me because he's stupid, and pretty much everything that comes out of his mouth is stupid, naive bullshit. But your version, while a lot of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is kind of stupid, naive bullshit, he also is a lot quippier, which is more entertaining.
And
You
that's
know,
really the only thing that matters.
yeah, the stuff he says is actually funny a lot of the time. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's entertaining, and that's the point of writing something. So, you know. Haters gonna hate is... Oh, I can't believe I said that. Did I just say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Haters
You
gonna
totally
hate.
said it, and it's recorded.
The guilt
Yup.
will never be washed away. Oh. Yeah.
So, but the thing is, the moral of the story
Hmm?
is people hate Kenchi.
For really stupid reasons.
Like,
Also,
some-
you morons are entitled to shit for complaining this much about a fanfiction story. For one thing, it is better than 99% of fanfiction stories out there by default by having decent grammar and punctuation.
That is depressingly true.
The fact that the plot's actually worthwhile probably puts it in the top 0.01%. Idiots. Whatever.
Yeah.
God damn it, Zero. Stop being a dick.
Haters gonna hate.
Do I have to watch this picture now? Let's see what it is. Haters
It's a
gonna
cat.
hate. It's a cat. Okay.
It's a cat with swag.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay, that's gotta go in the link dump. Yeah. I'm gonna have to find that out. Yeah. Yeah. Haters
Okay.
gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate.
Great.
Yeah. So that's the cliches topic. They're there because they're useful, and haters are assholes. Someone please stop me from saying haters. Someone.
No, I'm not going to because it's fun to watch. It's
you
fun
can
when
use-
you enunciate haters.
You can use the word naysayers.
I don't want to be a douchebag.
It's kind of a little bit late for that.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, next topic. Benefits of having a beta. Zero. Talk for like 15 minutes.
Alright, so
Great.
I got a beta recently and I realized, I really kind of missed having a beta. Because you realize that there is so much stuff wrong with your story. Or it could
Yeah.
be so much better. Not necessarily that it sucks and everything, but it's good. But here's what you can do to polish it and make it better. So, like for example, move this flashback down to here, and then you can have that sort of connection right there, and then, or this is worded unclearly. Because it's really hard to beta your own story.
It is,
Because
yeah.
you do have a bias. And you're like, oh, this is fine. This is good. I don't see what I could do to improve it. But you need somebody to look at it from another point of view. Because, like, I can look at other people's stories and be like, oh, yeah, you can use that to fix that and that and that. But when I look at my own stories, I'm like, oh, fix this and this? That's okay.
It's different,
But-
yeah. It really is.
Yeah. So I really missed having a beta because I'm finding out that there's so much more I can do to polish my stories.
Here's the thing. I can't have a beta because when I write things, have a tendency to want them posted immediately.
That's the
Yup.
same with me. I am the same way, and it sucks so much. I've been in a bad mood like for the past 3 days because my story's still not fully baited and everything.
Yup.
Good
when I
God,
finish,
you
I'll
drama
look through it.
queens.
I'll look through it to make sure my shit is as on point as it can be within 30 minutes of me finishing the chapter, but it's going up within 30 minutes after I finish
Yeah.
Dude, Slicer is my beta for pretty much everything, and the amount of times I've talked to him and said, hey, have you got that chapter done? He said, oh, sorry, I forgot it. It's been like 4 fucking days. Oh.
You see,
You really want, yeah.
I don't know if you realize, Slicer, how off-pissing that is.
what? Off-pissing?
Yes.
it. You just invent that?
Yeah, no, I've heard that before, but seriously, it's... I could murder you when you say things like that, so...
Do you have any idea how long I've been doing this beta reading thing, though? I've had to deal with that constantly. Every fucking author I beta read for is so impatient. It's like,
Because
you wrote
we want
the
to
thing.
get
You
it
can post
done.
it at any time. Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's like that hot hairstylist at the salon. Everyone wants their appointment now.
Ugh.
You really want to you really want to upload it because you really want to see what people think of it, what their responses are. You really want to get it done first of all to move on to the next one. So having to wait for that when you're like, oh, it's fine, it can't be that bad, right? And then you get back to the beta version, you're like, oh yeah, it was that bad. You know, it's
Actually, that doesn't happen with me because, like, Slice of Correct's next to nothing.
Pretty much.
Because I'm great.
I'm just kind of speaking in general. Like my beta that I had a long time ago, like he pointed out some things, and there's only one major error I really ever made. A lot of it was just smaller wording stuff. But you know, you realize that you miss stuff when you try and go through it. So it's always good to have a second pair of eyes.
That's true. For most people, you know, you plebeians. Because I've had 3 betas and none of them have ever really changed anything about the chapters that I post.
You make some minor errors with commas, but for the most part, it's pretty clean.
Yeah.
I'm just that great, you know.
Uh-huh.
I just
Hey, overly
How about you
cocky
post
guy's my
more,
thing.
huh? Or write more, I mean.
Who are you to fucking call someone overly cocky?
No, so that's my thing. That's my thing. You don't take
Yeah,
my thing.
You got me mixed up with Kenchi.
man, it's just
Being
like having a
baseless
beta can like I find it hard to write anything else while one chapter's being baited because I really want to finish up that one chapter.
Same.
Like you're just fidgety. You're just like, should I write something? No, I gotta wait for the next chapter. No.
Well, the beta might change something, you know, with permission, and it might contradict what you write later. So, yeah, I get that part.
I mean, the only major thing I've ever had to change with any chapter whatsoever was, in Code Minato.
That one, yeah.
There was one part where I've had to change a lot of things actually in that one, because sometimes I'm too tired or I didn't have a bait at the time, and the readers were like, "Dude, this thing sucks. You should fix it." And I'm like, "Okay, you're right. I didn't see that." I kind of make mistakes when writing that one. The only time a beta ever really needed to fix something big was I almost had one part where Mitsuru just kind of really did something really bad that was way out of character. Way out of character. It was just evil. So
Do you remember what it was, or?
It was basically going to publicly humiliate Junpei.
Huh.
And it was just going to be really bad, and I don't know why. I think it was just in a bad mood that week.
Who was doing the public humiliation?
Mitsuru.
Oh. I guess you could get
Probably.
away with it if she was cranky, but
Ish.
kind of out of the blue, that's a little much
Yeah.
for her, yeah.
Well, he did something, and she was going to react pretty badly. But I'm lucky I had my beta there, because that could have ended up really badly. Because I was just in a bad mood, or like I always if you read M1 and Persona, you see lots of author notes where I'm like, yeah, I had to go back and change this, I had to go back and change that. So I need a beta for that story because it's tricky territory for that story in particular. With a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to do, but I feel like having a beta is really beneficial, even if you don't think you need it, even if you're a Kenchi.
I thought I was
Wait,
the one
Kenchi,
being
do you
cocky.
actually... Yeah, I was going to say, Casey was the spotless one. I don't know about Kenchi's.
Kenchi doesn't have a beta.
See? Even my beta says that I'm spotless.
Yeah. I really wish there was something I could nitpick about, aside from the commas, just to deflate your big head, but there really isn't.
Well,
You know,
his
aside
chapters
from
are short.
chapter length, update speed, that kind of thing.
I wrote a 10,000 word chapter. Come on, give me a break. There's gotta be something I do wrong.
Oh, you wrote a 10,000 word chapter.
Yeah,
Really?
don't even step to Kenchi when it comes to length.
That's cute. That's cute.
On average, on average, my chapters are now about that length. I originally started with a minimum of 4,000 words per chapter. Then that went up to 6,000. Now it's like 8,000. It's getting progressively longer.
5,000 words are a jumping jack for me. Or jumping jacks for me. I warm up
I
off
type
that
slowly,
shit.
okay? I type slowly. Gosh.
Everyone else
Why
is
do
getting
people
arrogant around
complain
here.
about long chapters anyway? I never understood that.
I
Just
don't
too
know.
much to digest. don't
I
know.
guess hard to keep your place if you need to like stop and do something else for a while.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
I don't know.
I
It's just a matter of breaking things up so it's easier to find your place. So you could split it up into separate chapters.
I just
Still just seems weird, but I guess I can understand that point.
I write until I get to what I want to get to, and then it ends up being long. I don't like things too short. Just me. It's too short. It just doesn't feel right.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That was a fucking low ball.
Yeah.
That was low-hanging fruit, and I had to
I'm
pick
out.
it.
I'm out. I'm out.
It was so low
No
it was
more.
on the ground.
Hmm.
You had to reach down to pick it up.
Oh. Okay.
Alright, next
I think
next topic.
Next topic.
Gender bending. Because someone suggested it. 0.
Kenchi brought up the whole gender bending thing.
I
through the
was just
TV
scrolling
shows.
through random shit on
And
TV
I said,
tropes.
that could be a topic, and then you're like, okay, it's a topic.
Well, to start things off on a slightly serious note, I'm really sick of every Naruto that's a female having been, molested. That seems to be
Oh.
95% of the femme
Oh,
Naruto
gosh.
stories.
Why do you write that?
Wait, what? Oh,
Why would you
I
write
thought you
that?
meant me. I'm sorry, I've
No,
never
no,
read
no,
that.
not you. Why would you write that? That's what I want to know.
I don't
What's
know.
so interesting about being molested?
Because it's a
Aw.
backstory, and people are really lazy with abuse and trauma.
You've already gone through with what we feel about rape and and abuse as a backstory.
Yeah,
I know,
I cut
that's
a lot
just-
of that out, by the way, because...
I know, I noticed that. I actually
Yeah.
listened to the episode.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do
So
listen
you can
to
see
them,
how
yes.
terrible the audio was because of you, asshole.
No. Right.
Okay, so, gender bending is very popular for some reason.
Because it gives the yaoi fangirls a vehicle that is not something people can, hate on them for.
That sounds rather counterintuitive.
Gender
Turning
bending's
male
a
characters
genre.
into women so that you can fetishize the men?
Or
I
turning
don't...
female characters into men.
Listen, this is yaoi fangirls, okay? They don't... There's no logic in this. Just... It doesn't work with your brain.
Or people who like Yuri turn guys into girls.
That as well, yes.
Well, it's an actual thing. There's actual mangas where the main premise is gender bending and things like that.
Hmm.
Stories that do that.
Only one I can think
Oh.
of is Ranma, and I refuse to have anything to do with that.
Well, there's a slight amount in that whole Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches or whatever that's called, where he there's 7 girls that each have a power, and one kiss allows you, and if you kiss them, you get the power activates, and one girl that he kisses, he switches bodies with her, which is really weird.
We're gonna
That
end
is
up
weird.
talking about that Obama chapter in Air Gear again, aren't we?
No, don't. I was trying to avoid that. Stop it.
Wait, what?
No, you weren't. You brought up something tangentially related to it. You
I was
knew
trying
it was
to
eventually
talk
gonna get
about
to
a
that.
different manga. Oh. Obama is a little Japanese girl.
Obama is a
exists.
Japanese girl that he then masturbates as.
Oh, America.
Oh.
Japan, actually.
Japan. I think I don't think that can be pinned on America.
Japan's impression of America.
Fair enough.
Is that what
I'll allow
is that
that
what
one.
other countries think of us? Truly.
No, other
I
countries
don't
think
think
you're
so.
fat and warmongers.
Basically. Hold on, let me go polish my guns.
He says that, but he might actually just go and polish his guns.
Yeah, hold
He's
on.
actually
I need
done
to
that
go-
on the podcast once.
Hold
so
on. I need to go pick up these bullets off my floor before I vacuum the floor and run over and shoot my foot off.
Guys.
We hit a
Alright,
bullet with the lawnmower once.
Oh!
Was
Are
it
you
just
okay?
the shell or was it the actual?
No, it was a live round. It went off.
Is your lawnmower
to be fair,
okay?
that was when we first moved here. It was not ours. So
That's
Is your
awesome.
Is your lawnmower okay?
it was
Wait.
fine. It bounced off a nearby barn. The hole is still there.
Wait a second. You moved into a new house and there were live rounds just randomly strewn about the floor?
This house has belonged to some strange people. Like when we first moved out here, the garage was all set up to grow weed in.
Pineapple Express.
There was wild weed plants in the backyard.
What'd
I
you
mean,
do
like
with
you
it?
can't actually smoke that variety, but it
Oh.
was growing back there.
Well, it's America.
I feel we lost the topic somewhere.
Topic? What topic?
Why do you know that song?
It's on telly all the time. What do you think?
Oh,
Yeah,
America's on television.
go figure.
Alright, so gender bending is a thing, and it happens, and stuff, and Obama and as a little girl.
Still
You just
funny.
had to bring it up again, didn't you?
'Cause I
I'm
love-
just summarizing what we've covered. And it happens, and it can be a plot device. If, like, there's general turning your main character into a female, or there's the either doing that permanent, or there's the switch back and forth method, which could allow for another different perspective and bonding between other females that they wouldn't normally have had.
That's a rare one. That's
Yeah.
usually when it's done right. It's
That's
the
when
mindless
it's done.
smut and abuse.
Yeah.
That's the bad ones.
It can be used to actually be interesting, but a lot of people tend to not do that because screw you and everything that you hold dear. I want to have a male and male or female and female relationship. That's what people typically do.
Basically.
All right.
I tell you what, I do remember reading one gender bend fic that was like really disturbing.
Sure,
Mostly-
describe it. Why not?
It was like a One Piece fic, and basically the crew got gender bended, the whole crew, and it ended up just being completely, somehow both misogynistic and misandristic. I'm not sure how you managed that.
So Nami was a guy?
Yeah.
That seems weird. Would she still wear the same amount of clothing, or?
Was she still useless?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a point.
Robin with all the hands things, where was it instead of just being like just the hands, they were all just fists instead?
I
thought you were gonna go in a
thought you
very
were
different
say
direction.
penises.
I tried to stop. I tried to go in a very gentle direction.
Oh, I forgot he can't
You
say
failed.
penis, so he couldn't make
Yeah,
the
you
joke.
can't say what
Right,
it needs to do to make
yeah.
the joke actually works.
You guys are making fun of me.
It's funny.
We are. Yeah.
I'm too nice for this podcast.
No, you're not. You just won't curse at people.
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Zero. It's okay, you're the baby of the podcast. It makes sense that you would be the adorably, I don't know, tame one.
that is my destiny.
Great.
That sounded sad.
Alright, can we go back to the topic?
Zero
Stop talking about me.
Okay, yeah. So that was really disturbing. Gender bending chicks, when it's just generalized, it kind of gives the author's opinion of what they think of the opposite gender quite well.
That is a very good point.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a lot of fics that are actually a single female character turning into a male, and it's usually pretty illuminating, well written most of the time. I don't know what it is about that specific scenario that attracts the better stuff.
That would be really, really weird. A female character turning into a male. What's this? There's something here that wasn't there before. I don't know. How would that? Like, the reaction. I don't know. You just.
It's usually just about society treating them and stuff. I guess, I don't know, that kind of scenario. How people treat them different.
Yeah, but going to the bathroom, man.
Well, yeah, that's where the big story is.
That
God, that
was
was an
just
innuendo.
hard.
God damn it!
Okay. I've got to admit, I can see why that's so strange a concept, the woman turns into a man thing, from our perspective as men. Because a man turning into a woman, you can kind of see some of the obvious things that they would find strange. I mean, like, going through a period, or, I don't know, showering. And there would be the obvious exploration that would inevitably happen, because, men are universally, well, people are universally perverts.
Way to say it. Way to put
Pretty
it
much.
nicely.
But a woman turning into a man, from a man's perspective, it's difficult to figure out what exactly about that they would find strange. Because
There's
none
some-
of it to us is strange, because we're men.
The strange
honestly
S
think,
would be
I
the
honestly
more
think it would be,
appropriate.
there is something now between my legs. What do I do with this?
I pee standing up. Oh, okay. What else? I get paid more? Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's cool. That's not cool, by the way. I just wanted to stress that that's
No.
not actually what I think about that, but it's what they might think about that.
Yeah. Okay, can we move on before we end
Change
up?
in circumstances. That's,
Sure, why not?
so that's gender bending as a topic. That was weird.
Yeah.
Which is kind of appropriate, given the subject.
Yeah. Casey's topic.
Yeah.
Brought up.
Well, technically
Alright.
a shared topic between Casey and Kenchi, because
Shit
Kenchi
is
said we
about
needed
to
to
get
talk about
real.
Pokemon. So, Kenchi said we needed to talk about Pokemon last week. So,
You agreed.
yeah, I did. And we spent a good, what, half an hour trying to figure out what we should talk about for Pokemon. And, I threw out this gem. What's everyone's favorite legendary? And or what is the best legendary?
Those are
Darn
two
it.
separate topics as far as I'm concerned.
We can do both of them. Because we have a lot of time left.
On instinct, I want to say Mewtwo.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Mewtwo, because I don't care.
On instinct.
Mewtwo
But then
feels
if
like
you're-
a soft answer to me.
Yeah, Mewtwo's a soft ass.
But then there's Darkrai, and there's Giratina, and there's frickin' all these other
Darkrai is
legendaries.
awesome.
Darkrai's frickin' awesome. Dark Void instantly puts you to sleep through a massive darkness and insanity and Lovecraft.
And
But,
then everyone's
uh,
insane.
Freaking. The thing is, in Red and Blue, Mewtwo was just broken. Because
Well-
he had, like, no weaknesses.
Yeah, he was a psychic type, so even the ghost type weakness wasn't really a weakness because it was programmed wrong or something.
Yeah. So he was super, really freaking OP in the original Red and Blue.
Which made sense. He was like a
Yeah,
bonus.
he
He
was-
was like level 70. And
Yeah, he
anything
was
that
the
you,
final Pokemon.
yeah, anything that you fought in the game was only like level 53, I think Lance's last
Mhm.
Pokemon was.
Yeah.
Something like that. So,
First playthrough, I killed him by accident. And I
Whoops.
hadn't, and I hadn't realized the joys of saving before doing important shit. So he was just gone.
I was about to
Wiped
ask
out.
why didn't you save, or when's the last time you saved? That would
It was
suck.
I hadn't realized the merits of saving before doing it. Like, I'll tell you what, I didn't save before fighting the Elite Four at this point. So every time they beat my ass, I lost half my money. And I was broke by the end of it. By the time I beat them, I was broke as fuck.
You didn't learn your lesson after the first time?
I didn't. It took me a while. Like, I was really young when I was playing this game, so I didn't realize losing money is a problem. I can't buy the things I need, like Pokeballs, to catch more Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mm.
Speaking of legendary Pokemon, who likes Articuno? Anybody?
I like
like
Articuno. I have a soft spot for Articuno.
Articuno and
Zapdos is
Zapdos.
better.
Out of the three of
Articuno
them,
and
I like
Zapdos were my
Fuck
two
Zapdos.
favorites. Like, I didn't
Fuck
like
you.
Moltres at all.
Nobody likes Moltres.
Nah.
Because he was too easy to beat. Out of the three of them, he was the easiest to beat, to me.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a fucking phoenix. You've seen that 1,000 times.
Yeah, Zapdos was pretty freaking awesome, and Articuno is just, it's Articuno.
Yeah.
Freaking, how many
Iceberg.
ice types were there in the original Red and Blue?
Like 5 maybe.
And
That sounds
Articuno
like
was...
overestimating it, to be honest.
There were barely any, and then you had Articuno come and you're like, I've got ice, I can kill dragons.
That was the thing. That was the thing. That was the thing about he could actually kill a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon
otherwise,
Slayer
otherwise you were
Articuno.
just stuck trying to get a Dratini, and that was a risky thing.
Yeah. So Articuno was pretty freaking awesome in that regard.
Mm.
I think we should take this by Gen.
Yeah, maybe. Gen 3's gonna suck, because they all suck, but yeah, okay.
Alright, let's do this. Out of Generation 1, who's your favorite?
Mewtwo.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mewtwo as well. Just because Mewtwo's badass. I'm not gonna pick Mew.
Seeing as how I killed Mewtwo. Never got to experience him. I'm gonna say Zapdos.
Alright, Generation 2, I guess.
Hmm.
It's between Lugia and Entei for me.
I've got to go with Entei. Entei is a badass.
I like
He
The
is.
third movie for the anime.
Yeah, that was a good film.
That was good.
Is it
But I
a
like
legitimately
Lugia
good movie?
because I like Lugia because of the shadow version of him in XD Gales of Darkness,
Hmm.
which looks freaking just awesome. Because that's Shadow Lugia. But I think I might just go with Entei.
Oh, that looks badass.
What?
I just found the page for Shadow Lugia.
I
That's-
put up a picture for him if you want to see him.
Yeah, I was just about to link the page. Same page as well.
Oh, that's handy. Well, you guys just Google it?
Bulbapedia.
But it is one of the most awesome Pokemon I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Is Shadow Lugia, and that's
It's like
why
a
I
Lugia.
kind of want to.
It's like black and sort of a green color. With bright red eyes. It's fucking badass. I like that. It's cool.
Yeah, but in that game you have to purify Shadow Pokemon. In order to purify that one, you need to get like the best type of like system set up, and it's really complicated. And like it's really almost like they meant it to be hard because the XD and its codename, because this is called its codename is XD001. It stands for Extra Darkness.
That makes it less cool.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be completely immune to purification, and it's completely corrupt. Has a shadowy aura when it's in battle, so it's really cool.
Okay. We're gonna move on to Gen 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gen 3.
I'm just gonna say this off the top of my head. Latias and Latios suck.
All
Yeah.
of them suck. That's not a differentiating factor.
What are the
Rayquaza's
Gen
awesome.
3 legendaries? I don't get it.
Huh?
They're the three rocks, the three legendary rocks.
You have
Yeah,
Regice,
Registeel,
Registeel,
Regirock.
They're not
and
golds,
Regirock.
they're rocks.
all of them are Regi, and all of them have their bodies ready.
F you, Reggie.
Oh, those things. Right. Yeah. Okay. I suddenly understand your hatred for Gen 3.
Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza,
Suck.
Deoxys, and Jirachi.
Deoxys. That's my pick.
That's totally. Oh, whatever. You can pick what you want.
It's listed in Gen 3.
I'm
I
gonna
knew
pick a
that.
shiny Rayquaza.
Yeah, Rayquaza's mine too.
Shiny Rayquaza.
I
He's
hate
like black and
Latios and
gold.
Latias so much. When
Nobody
I caught
likes
them,
them.
I wasn't even excited. Like, you come across them randomly, and I wasn't even excited when I was like, oh, yeah, I caught that.
Yeah.
That happened.
Oh, that was the thing.
I don't think I
Yeah.
ever saw them.
Why would you even bother catching it if you don't like it?
Because it was just a random encounter. I wasn't looking for it. Just fucking Latios comes out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, since it's here, I'm filling out the Pokedex, might as well catch it.
Yeah. Alright.
If I'd have killed it, I wouldn't have felt anything.
So I'm going with Rayquaza. Kenchi's going with Rayquaza. What about you? Casey, you got Deoxys. What about you, Slicer?
But I don't know. I didn't follow Pokemon very
I
much.
will say that Groudon did help me Raffle Stomp the Elite Four. So,
Yeah, but all the
Yeah.
legendaries do that.
yeah, but he's the one. Yeah, but I kind of had to confront him, and I kind of caught him just because he was there, and he was really broken useful, kind of. So,
Hmm.
Use Fissure, instant kill. Use Fissure, instant kill.
Doesn't that have an accuracy of like 30?
Yeah. But when it worked, it worked.
Yeah, but that's the thing, it never works. You may as well not bother using it.
Yeah. That's what I hated about Groudon, actually. Like
no,
Rayquaza.
Groudon's fucking instant, immediate sunny day shit actually helped me immensely because I had
Rayquaza with extreme speed and Hyper Beam and whatever. You know?
yeah
Mm.
Extreme speed always hits first.
always.
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 It's like the highest priority move or something, right?
Yeah, one of them.
I wish there was priority moves that came before items.
That would be... that'd
It should be like a
something.
dark type move because they always have the tricky ones, but there should be a move that lets you attack before someone can use an item.
That sounds very situational, but I can see that being a really big help.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the amount of times that you come up against a gym leader and they're like... You always have to get a Pokemon in the red so that you can get their potion out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because they always fucking have one.
Yeah.
And in like, you know, professional, quote unquote, battles, it'd be interesting because you get like one item per battle in that or something, right? So if you could just have that one move, it doesn't have to be like a powerful move, just something that you could just, you know, pick someone off with when you know for a fact that someone's about to use an item.
Mm-hmm.
You could just push them over the edge. That'd be good.
Okay, so, Generation 4?
Gen 4. I have
So-
no idea about Gen 4, to be honest with
Really?
you.
So we,
You don't
so we
know
had
what to pick for Gen
Uxie,
4?
we had Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, the three weird...
I don't even know what the
things.
fuck they are. I've never seen
You
them
had
before.
Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. Cresselia,
Fucking Arceus.
Manaphy, and Arceus, and Regigigas.
You can't choose
Pete
God.
Yes,
They
you
win.
can.
I choose Arceus. I have a level 100 shiny one. I have a level 100 shiny Arceus because I'm a cheater.
Sorry, I just...
That is cheating. That is the definition of cheating.
Yeah, action replay.
I just remember that Pokemon Rob caught fucking Snorlax, but he used a timer ball, and so whenever it goes into battle, it's got like this like little, you know, spinning clock animation when it comes out.
Uh-huh.
So it's like he treats it as if it's like predicting everything that's happening or pretending to, and he's like, I predict that this Pokemon's gonna die. Hey, look, it died. Now I used a body slam, and he's like, and someone in the chat comments, it's like a shitty Dialga. It's kind of the Lord of Time. Not really. Just thought that was funny.
I like the entry for Arceus. Arceus is, according to legend, the creator of the Pokemon universe. Born of an egg in the chaos at the beginning, Arceus' powers were awakened immediately, and from itself it made time and space, matter and antimatter, and set Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina to guard them.
You know there's a House episode where it references Arceus?
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I did not know that at all.
It's really fucking weird. I'm not even kidding. It's just like they're doing their whole diagnosing thing, and it's like, and that is why Arceus, in his infinite wisdom, did and someone calls him Arceus, and it just pauses for a second. There's a beat, and it's like, look it up, and then they keep going with the episode. It's like, what the fuck? I'm gonna have to link. There's like a YouTube clip of it or something. I'm gonna have to link it at some point.
But yeah, Arceus is my pick for Gen 4.
No, I'm not going Arceus. Wait, is that actually in this one? Yes.
Well, it's either Arceus, Shaman, Regigigas, Heatran, Manaphy, Fione, Cresselia, Giratina, Palkia, or
Darkrai.
Dialga. Or Darkrai, yeah. Oh, Darkrai.
Maybe
Darkrai.
Darkrai, but fucking
Yeah, I almost
Arceus
forgot
is
about
Arceus.
Darkrai. Yeah, maybe Darkrai, because Darkrai is freaking awesome, but with Arceus and the fact that you can just put plates on it to make it any type you want.
Yeah, but that requires prep. Darkrai is just awesome anyway.
True. Which one? The one who controls nightmares, or the one who created every single living thing in the Pokemon universe?
Can you make me a sandwich?
Maybe.
Arceus?
It'd be a haunted
Yes.
sandwich.
Arceus could make you could literally turn you into a sandwich.
There would be no
Yeah,
bacon
he could
on
make
it,
you
though.
into a sandwich, yes.
Yes.
There'd be no bacon on it. With bacon aside, it would still be the best damn sandwich you ever had in your life.
Yeah. That's
I
good
don't know what I'm
Arceus.
talking about.
I have no idea. Why is there no bacon?
Bacon is
That's
extra.
that's all I got from that. Just the no
Bacon is
part.
extra what? It's fucking God.
Arceus is awesome, and his shiny form is gold. In the game.
Isn't he already gold, or is it like just
He's
gold
yellow
white
and
instead of gold
with
highlights?
like a gold ring, but he
Yellow and gold,
becomes
white and gold.
yellow.
Yellow.
Just becomes pure gold.
Ah, that seems gaudy, but okay.
Never been a fan of gold. Prefer silver.
Like pure gold and black and whatever. It looks kind of cool.
Both in game terms and precious metal terms, I prefer silver. Ah, see what I did there?
I like silver too.
Gen 5.
Okay, we've got a lot in Gen 5.
Yeah,
You got Tornadus, Thunderous, Landorus,
that are all exactly the
Cobalion,
same.
Terrakion, Virizion,
All same.
Keldeo, Victini, the frickin' Zekrom and Reshiram and the thing with the frickin'
He's speaking in
Kyurem,
tongues. Somebody kill him.
and the Meloetta, and then the two forms of the Meloetta with the Aria and the Pirouette, and the Genesects.
I don't want to
Hey,
pick
Zero said
Genesect.
sex.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Technically.
Genesext. CTS. Shut up.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You can try and justify it all you want, but we heard it. It's recorded.
Whatever. I go with Genesect.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Genesect just for the fact that it's a bug legendary. When do you
It
see
is
that?
bug and steel. It is a robot bug. It is a mech.
I will admit that is pretty cool.
Screw your swords of justice, your forces of nature, your Victini, and your what is it? They're called the Tau trio. Screw that. Give
Is
me a
it Tau or is it
Genesect.
Dow?
It's TAO trio. Tau.
It'd be Dow then.
Tau. Screw your Tau trio. Genesect. Maybe Meloetta, but Genesect. Because Genesect is freaking awesome. And it has its signature move, Techno Blast.
Why'd you put the voice behind it?
That sounds messy.
I don't know why I put the voice behind it. I don't know. Don't mock me.
Gen 6.
Most of the event stuff hasn't been revealed yet, but you've got the trio of Xerneas and Yveltal and Zygarde.
Wow, so I get a bird or a deer. A legendary deer.
Or a
there's
snake.
The other's one.
Or a snake. Zygarde.
Yeah.
It's
like
a
a
black and
slug.
green snake.
I wonder if it was
That's a
intentional that
slug.
that game came out during hunting season.
I
Because that was really weird seeing that. Like,
for my
going to
Generation
hunting,
6
and then
pick,
I see a
I will
commercial
pick
for that, and it's a deer.
I will pick for my
It's like a
Generation
deer and a
6.
pheasant.
I choose Mewtwo. Mewtwo is in the Generation 6 game.
You mean Mew 3?
Yes, that too.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Is that his actual
Nice.
name?
No,
No.
it's Mega Mewtwo.
Me
You
and
suck.
my brother
Ah.
both compared the two forms of Mega Mewtwo to Dragon Ball characters. So Mewtwo Y, where he's got the long head thing and he's floating and he has a sort of small body, is like Kid Buu. And then Mewtwo X is like Frieza.
Hmm.
Because he's like a fighting type and everything, and works surprisingly well.
I think I'll go with the Veltal.
The Veltal's cool because it has Oblivion Wing, which basically it shoots a laser at you and then sucks away your health. It's kind of like Leech Life, but with a laser, and way more powerful.
They
Yeah.
don't look cool.
Not really, but it's a dark flying type, and the only one of those before was Murkrow. That's kind of lame.
I'm trying to apply this to real worlds, to real world things. But all these three, technically four, they look awful.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
do.
want any of them. I don't want any of them.
Like, look at this link I just put up, and
I'd take a
you can see the
Pikachu
forms of
first
Mewtwo.
before those four.
Don't say that. You don't mean that.
With the voice acting too.
No. No voice acting. I would cut its vocal cords first.
Dude.
Dude,
Wow.
that's pretty metal.
It'd be a humane surgery.
Sure.
The way you said it, though, it sounded like you're just going to go up to the
No.
Pikachu, take out a knife, and just like,
I love animals. Even Pikachu.
just stab it right in the vocal cords and like stitch it up before it even bleeds.
Maybe not Pikachu. Nobody loves Pikachu.
I kind of like Pikachu, actually. Sorry.
I like it when
slice
it's
from
not
the core,
annoying.
if that's okay.
I like Pikachu as a plushie. How about that?
No?
No, that's still not cool.
As in a form that doesn't say Pika.
Does it say Rye instead? Because that'd be okay. I'd be okay with that.
Just
Yeah,
train your
what-
Pikachu to think it's a Raichu.
Why do I like Raichu but hate Pikachu?
Because Raichu looks like a pimp.
Because
looks like he
Raichu
runs a
is the evolved form of Pikachu, and thus better by definition.
Raichu looks like he runs the streets.
Okay, why are you assuming that Raichu is some kind of street running pimp?
Just look at Raichu.
I look at Raichu all the time.
I'm gonna look at Raichu right now.
He's got the girth and he's got like the, you know, he looks like he runs the streets.
Fuck yeah, Raichu. Hop on that leg.
What?
That's what the picture is. It's fucking hopping for some reason.
Guys, I found a thing.
Do I want to know?
You and your things.
Look at that shit. Hopping Raichu. Fuck.
I don't
I
want to
found a
look
thing.
at it. Why, you guys are just giving me pictures to look at. What's going on?
Dude, what?
Whoa, what?
I found a thing.
You found a
Awesome.
thing, alright.
You looked for that thing. How did you find that?
I typed in
don't-
Raichu and that's what came up.
Welcome to Google Image Search. where
Yeah.
most of it's porn. Or sort of porn.
We found a female Raichu, guys.
Yeah.
Human in a
Human,
costume.
female. I am the baby of the group, and this is what I do.
Right.
That's what you guys called me.
Alright,
I'm
then,
really
well,
confused what our roles are right now. I'm so lost.
We have rules. Anyway,
Roles.
I think I think that handles the legendaries conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there's nowhere to go after sexy Raichu, so I think
To
I'll
be
just
fair, it's a
end
pretty
it
well
there.
drawn Raichu.
It's not a Raichu. It's Raichu ears and a Raichu tail, but it's a girl. You just
Are you
disturbed
saying-
me deeply.
I was saying this.
More disturbing,
saying-
that tail's probably insertable. Woo!
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
You were asking for it. Anyway, I glossed over that entire topic, so what's next?
You have a question?
Because Pokemon. Ooh, questions, awesome.
Okay, so
Sorry, what?
Casey, Casey, we have a question.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted for some reason.
It was Johnny Boy again.
And I accidentally opened Steam.
Do you see that character that you write time and time again in different stories as the same character in a different skin, or is each and every one of them as a different person? So like,
that's hard to quantify.
I think it's circumstantial, really. I feel like
Yeah.
in certain AUs, the character can end up being a different person. I mean, it's tricky. I like to see them all as the same character, but in a different skin. But there's some times when you read a fanfiction and you find out that that character has been changed immensely, and that's one of the main points of the fanfiction. Is to make
Yeah, I was just about to mention that, is if they start at the same point, it's a different, well, it can be argued that it's the same character, but as they go through the story they change differently, then it's definitely a different person. The situations around them have shaped them differently.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure he means like if you're writing like one, like you're writing a story based around one character, but you're doing that in multiple stories.
I honestly don't know what he means. He wasn't particularly clear with his language, but
It was kind of vague. Yeah.
Okay, do you see that character you write time and time again in different stories? Do you see that as the same character in a different skin? Or is each and every one of them a different person?
I've got to see it as a different person because making different things happen, I mean, at the core, like I said, like we already touched on, since the main character I write around is Naruto, he's still Naruto most of the time, since by the time I get a hold of him and start the story, the core of his personality has already been formed. But with the different things that have happening to him, he becomes a different person in each different setting. So I gotta see him as a different person each time.
That's gotta be complicated for you. I imagine you have to have like a Naruto 1, Naruto 2, Naruto 3 code thing going on, so you can differentiate between them all, because a lot of them are pretty fucking different. Even for, like, being Naruto at a base. And if you compare, like, say, True Warriors Never Die with Metal Gear 1, that's pretty different.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that hard since I've already written it out. I already, like, in mind, I already know, I've already written the character traits of these people, of the characters. So it's not really that hard to differentiate after you've already done it. And from that point, you're just really building upon it. So it's not really that complex to, like, keep them straight. By the fact that I'm writing, like, technically the same character in different stories and different situations, and
not to mention going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, as you do.
Yeah. Also, I have to read my own. Also, I read my own stuff back, anyway. So it's not like I ever forget or anything.
Did you
If it's
know
been more than a few weeks, I do that too.
Did you know that Heatran is the only legendary Pokemon that can be either gender?
I
don't know which one that is.
What does that matter to me? I'm pretty
Did
sure
you
they look the
know
same.
that Manaphy is the only legendary Pokemon that can breed?
Stop reading the trivia at the bottom of the legendaries page.
Did you know that other than Arceus holding a Toxic Plate, there are no Poison-type legendary Pokemon?
That is actually mildly interesting. I imagine there's going to be an event one this gen.
Probably. Did you know that Mew has its own battle theme, which is a remixed version of the normal Kanto Wild battle theme?
That's pretty cool, actually.
In what?
In everything.
Whatever battle he's in, I guess.
Whenever you meet him in an event, supposedly.
Is he actually, well, it actually been in any other games than the red, blue, and fire red and leaf green?
I don't know. They might bring him back, but they seem to be, having fun making really crappy legendaries.
They're making really crappy Pokemon in general.
I'm sure one day they'll just have a game that has all of the Pokemon in it by default. Who am I kidding? Makes me
Well,
sad.
they made 3D models for every single Pokemon now. So, it could be possible now with the next freaking game.
Not that they would.
They're making more and more Pokemon.
It's better business to not do that. It sucks, but they're not going to because it's better business to make it so that you have to buy separate games, even between generations, to get all the Pokemon.
Remember with Pokemon, their first thing was gotta catch them all, and now it's just like you probably should just play the game.
Yeah, fuck it. You're not gonna catch them all.
You don't.
Do you even have enough room to store them all now?
Yeah, you actually have enough room to store them all times at least 5.
In the main
Pokemon
game,
bank.
not so much.
Without using the Pokemon Bank, though.
In the bank, yes. In the main game, you get, what is it? A box holds not 20 Pokemon each. It's not still 20, is it? It's like
It's like
maybe 30.
Last time I checked, last time I really played was like Ruby and Sapphire. I think it was 40 at that point.
Okay, so 42 a box, and there's what, 8 boxes, I think. So 40 times 8 is...
It's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah, 320.
Even counting evolution, that's not enough.
No, not really. Well, maybe. Well, if you think about it, there's like 750 or something, right?
798.
Oh. Probably not then. Yeah, you're right. Christ.
And that's why their motto isn't gotta catch them all anymore. At this point, it's just fuck it. Here we go.
You caught a full team. That's enough.
Pick your favorites. Make teams. Just don't try catch them all. Whatever you do.
Trying to fit that into the theme song. It's not working very well. Pokemon, just fuck it.
That takes on a whole new meaning.
Come on, stop it.
You're the one who linked the picture.
I'm gonna link the picture twice now, just so I can put it in there.
Oh, I hate you guys.
So, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the question. We answered the question. Okay, recommendations. Who has them?
Give me a minute. I gotta search for it.
I'm going to recommend Shokugeki no Soma, the cooking manga with the food chasms.
So you're gonna describe it like that every... You can say foodgasms, but you can't say penis.
Well, that's because it has the word food in it, and it kind of disarms the meaning.
No,
We
it
all know
doesn't.
What gasms means. Everyone knows what gasms means.
He
You all know
has
the
really
byproduct
weird
of a
standards,
gasm.
okay?
You all know the byproduct of a gasm. Okay?
Stop it. Stop.
No. No, you either say them all or you say none of them. And I'm gonna make sure you realize that.
It's just, I'm quoting other people.
Say fuck.
No, I can't.
Say it.
I can't.
I want to hear you physically strain to say
I found
fuck.
mine, by the way. Can I,
Fudge.
Yeah, go for it, Slicer.
Right, it's Derp Tale of the Chosen. It's kind of a... Okay, in the beginning of Dark Souls, you meet this knight. He gives you the Estus Flask, which is basically your healing item.
Oh yeah,
And
he was
so,
nice.
in this, the character just hands it back to him and says, "You're undead, right? So just drink this, you moron." And then the Chosen Undead and the Knight, Oscar, they kind of team up, and they go through the game. It's 5 chapters long, 18,000 words. It's pretty good so far.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
I like
It's
that.
got... Both characters are really likable, and of course they pick up Solaire, because naturally, jolly cooperation.
And then you just get like a party going.
I was actually really surprised they picked up, in the recent chapter, this is kind of mild spoilers, but they picked up Beatrice. Shortly before you fight a
Ooh.
boss, there's this summon sign hidden kind of like in the bushes underneath the stairs. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
I was on like 3rd playthrough when I found it. And so they're just kind of recruiting people as they go along. They got a nice little
That's
party
cool.
going.
That makes Dark Souls a lot easier.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Anyone else got any?
Foodgasm.
I got nothing this week.
Kenchi.
I can second your Dark Souls one from a while back. The what was it called?
The Darkest Souls.
That's it,
something like
Darkest Souls. That was a good fic. I was really surprised at the quality of that one. It was really
Yeah, that
good.
was pretty good. I really liked that. I also saw that you. I was reviewing Shadow Arasato's Ghost in the Machine. He got the idea from me, and I saw you reviewed that too. So it's pretty good, isn't it? First
It's
starting out.
something to pass the time with, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good
he's-
fic, but it's not like it's not super memorable, I guess.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's just starting.
I'm trying to
out,
word
though,
it in a
so
way that's not mean, but
you can word it as mean as possible.
it's on the upper side of average.
Yeah, he's his first fic.
Hmm.
It's a lot better than a lot of other people's first fics.
True. Mine probably included.
He's being a little too vague about things for my taste, but yeah.
All right.
Hopefully that'll clear up soon.
Alright, my recommendation is Oh Snap by Backwards Hazard. It is a Fate Stay Night fic that is categorized as a Full Metal Alchemist crossover, though it's not really. Basically, Shiro finds a copy of Full Metal Alchemist and thinks, hey, this is badass shit, and it makes me think a lot about being a hero and stuff. So basically he ends up copying Edward Elric's outfit and the transmutation array from Mustang's glove, so it can make him summon swords that explode.
Yes.
Oh, so he doesn't try and bring his dad back and lose an arm and a leg then?
No,
Okay.
but if he read Full Metal Alchemist, why would that tell him to try and do that? That's not exactly...
I don't
That's
know.
not exactly the message of that story.
I wouldn't put it past some authors to go that far in turning him into, Edward.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do that.
It's a sad fact that a
Edward.
lot of fusions like that, they just turn him into the other character.
Mm.
That's depressing.
Word.
It doesn't happen like that, no. The first chapter was originally intended to be a one-shot, where Shiro is kind of modeling himself after Edward Elric and ends up badass, and kills, Lancer? In the first
What?
encounter?
Wow,
Ed-
that's
Yeah,
impressive.
With
Word.
exploding swords. Yeah, and then he sort of carried it on a little bit from there. It's only 3 chapters, and it's not updated very often, but it's pretty cool. So, worth a look.
Word.
Kill like 20 minutes.
Oh, right, the Darths and Droids from last time. I
Yeah.
can fully recommend that as well, especially if you're not a Star Wars fan. It's actually still really entertaining.
Yeah. Like I
Yay.
said, they completely retool the plot a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm, yeah. It's also, it kind of helps that the guy who originally played Qui-Gon Jinn, his playstyle is basically what mine is, so, yeah.
Yeah.
I am a horrible person.
No, you're a
In
horrible
games,
role player,
mostly.
there's a difference.
There you go, yeah, that works better.
Yeah, that's
We're all horrible people for
yeah,
different reasons.
pretty much. But I can't do telesales, so that puts me up a notch. And as Kenchi would
True.
apparently say, as he says a lot, that puts me at notch 1. I don't think you realize how many times you used that line in fucking that One Piece fic. You used it a lot early on.
It's a running reference.
No,
That
that's
is
not
a
how-
cop-out answer, and you know it.
That's not how that works when you have, like, loads of different characters using the same line for no explicable reason of how they would know the same line. No. So, yeah. I guess that's the end of our podcast for this week. Thank you for listening to episode 26 of the Fandom Flux podcast, aka Fandom Flux is a Shambles. because that's what we're going to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dig that
My
knife in
fault.
my back a little deeper.
No, that's for Slicer. Thanks for paying
Blame
attention.
cough medicine. Really heavy cough medicine.
And playing Dark Souls in the middle of fucking recording. Are you kidding me? Just fucking Christ.
Normally, it's a very easy game to play and do talk stuff at the
It's
same
Dark
time.
Souls.
It's very easy once you get the patterns down, okay?
It's a game you literally can't pause. If you would like to get in
Right.
contact with us, you can do so through the Blogspot page in the comments or through our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net. Once again, thank you for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast, episode 26, and we're out.
Later.
Bye.
Thanks for putting up with me, people. See ya.